found TonyBasilio.com, home of the Tony Basilio Show. In just a few minutes, we'll be right with you with another award-winning, action-packed edition of your Tony Basilio Show. You found Radio Free Tennessee. Your Tony Basilio Show will begin momentarily. Keep it locked in right here at TonyBasilio.com and on your Tony Basilio app. And hey, do us a favor. Spread the word. Another award-winning, thought-provoking, action-packed edition of the Tony Basilio Show is coming up next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com, home of the Tony Basilio Show. Let's go, shall we?
WJBE 1040 AM 99.7 FM. Translator W259AB. Powell, Knoxville.
Welcome. It is your Monday edition. Fired up, focused, and prepared for you. Jacked up, stacked, packed, and jacked. Man, what an appropriate way for that Tennessee baseball game to go yesterday. A rain delay. And then inches away from a 3-run homer from my boy Grimmer. Not to be confused with the great David Grimm. But Grimmer's my boy. Hey, Brian Hartman, last year, you know where that ball goes? Grimmer's ball to center field. That's deposited off the scoreboard, Bri, last year. That's the difference. That's the difference.
Every single ball hit to the warning track leaves the ballpark last year. Or in most years.
Yep. And meanwhile, Vandy does not have a home run hitting team at all. And this Mancini guy, Boom Boom Mancini, hit a ball out. First one all year. You know?
And that's just kind of how it goes. They just don't do well enough for long enough. They just don't do enough things well enough for long enough to sustain any kind of success.
Where is the sound on this thing? This team doesn't have it, Bri. No offense to him.
I've come to the point where I've kind of, with Will Heflin, I've sort of just suspended emotions for the rest of the season and accepted this for what it is.
Yeah, that's right.
And you never know. They might get a good matchup in the NCAA tournament where
sure,
they're not going to face another SEC team in a regional, and I would not want to be a regional host and see Tennessee pop up under my name.
So, 865-200-5402. Here's my thing. Like, we use the term equity around here. Tony Vitello, his baseball team, and the ride they've put us on for the last 5 years here, bringing us really out of the doldrums, the doldrums of the doldrums. They deserve some grace. It's a down year. It is what it is. And look, if these guys get to the second round of the tournament, you don't want to hear this, but I'm speaking facts here. If these guys get to the second round of the tournament, it's an accomplishment. Because they look like onesie and donesie to me. And Will Heflin had a great line yesterday. He said, look, I've been in here last several weeks, Garza Law, Tennessee Baseball Extra Innings. I wore the uniform. Let me tell you something about him. He gets pissed off when we're in here watching games. Because these guys have like a measure for this thing. And he said yesterday on the way out, he said, listen, he said, I'm going to be really honest with you. Till the postseason starts, he said, what did he say, Brian? You heard it. He said something like...
He's just said he's kind of out. Or kind of
he goes,
just not really going to get any kind of worked up over whatever happens between now and then.
In other words...
In
other words, I'm not going to get all jacked up over it. Because why would you? I mean, why would you? This team doesn't field it well. They don't hit it well. They don't really pitch it well. But other than that, they got a good ball club.
This would bother me more if they didn't win a national title last year. Remember, last year, they had the most accomplished season in the history of the sport that they capped off with a national title. No matter what happens this year or any year, that's not going away.
Well, that's exactly right. And the way this guy's recruiting, some years you're just going to get a mix and it's just not going to work. But I look around the sport, and I look at the way that sport goes.
And I'm sure Tony Vitello is not taking on the same mindset that I've taken on.
Oh, no.
And maybe some other fans, maybe I'm not speaking for everybody, but maybe some others feel the same way I do, and they're not quite as upset as they would be otherwise. Well, maybe not, but
they're in the middle of it.
He's probably even more pissed off.
They're in the middle of it. I wouldn't expect anything less from him. But here's the reality, and I deal in reality. The reality is that Vanderbilt made a mockery of us running the base pass over the weekend. It's just a fact. I mean, here's Tennessee's baseball team. Friday night, I'm beating you. I get the best pitcher in sport. I'm beating you. Friday night, Frank Anderson's taken this guy, and he's turned him into a monster on this level. A monster. So Friday night, I'm going to beat you. I get him. I'm better than you. I'm beating you. So, okay, let me get a brief timeout. We'll come back with more on your other side. It is the Monday edition. And then we'll get some calls in after this. Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about about the miles ahead and focus on getting your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Your next opportunity to see your Knoxville Smokies in the brand new Covenant Health Park is this week. And what a week. Great promotions every night, including Thirsty Thursday with half-off drafts, and join Charlie Brown, Snoopy, and the gang on Saturday. Our Sunday day game will be honoring our law enforcement. And don't forget, fireworks every Friday and Saturday night all season long. Get your tickets now at SmokiesBaseball.com.
Knoxville Smokies.
Why is it so stuffy in here? Don't tell me the AC's broken again. No matter the season, a broken air conditioner or HVAC system is a nightmare. And with warm weather here to stay, it's more important than ever to keep you and your family comfortable and safe before summer's heat arrives. If you need emergency HVAC repairs, routine preventative maintenance, or want to invest in a new system, then call the trusted HVAC experts at Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. This month, get up to a $1,000 discount when you buy and install a new air conditioner or HVAC system. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. Be sure to ask about our 10-plus year warranties that are 2 times longer than industry standards, so you don't spend a cent on unexpected costs in the future. So call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
Jeff Hall here. I'm a partner at Rather & Kittrell Capital Management. And here at Rather & Kittrell, we understand that life is full of transitions. Since 2000, our team of dedicated certified financial planners has been helping individuals, families, and businesses navigate these changes with confidence. From comprehensive wealth management to tailored retirement plans, we're committed to guiding you toward a secure financial future. Ready to take the next step? Visit rkcapital.com or call us at 865-218-8400 to start your journey today. Rather & Kittrell is a registered investment advisor.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marco Scarza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Are you stuck in a dead-end job or ready for a new challenge? Do you feel like it's time to try a new career? Well, it's time to change lanes with TLD Logistics. My friends at TLD Logistics have some really exciting opportunities for you to learn a new skill. With a new 5-acre driving academy that's now under new leadership with all new course material. And the best part, it's absolutely free. What a great deal to set you on the road to higher pay. And TLD Logistics even offers weekly stipends to offset food and gas expenses. In 6 weeks' time, you could complete this course and be in compliance with FMCSA regulations. Then you're ready for the open road of opportunity. What are you waiting for? It's time to change lanes with TLD Logistics. Visit tldlogistics.com. That's tldlogistics.com. TLD Logistics.
A lime is not always just a lime. You see, some limes are lucky. For when a lime joins the salted rim of a crisp, refreshing Tres Dos Equis, that lime is no longer a mere lime, but a wedge of renowned Mexican limón. Muchas gracias, limón. And also, de nada. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis, imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hi there, Basilio crew. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. If you're thinking about selling your home, I've got good news for you. The East Tennessee and Knoxville areas are projected to have another strong year. I'll be happy to talk with you about the latest and greatest info you need. So give me a call at 865-694-5904 or contact me at nextmovesmokymountains.com. Hope to hear from you soon and go Vols.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama Zizi approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and Zizi.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols!
Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B. Tony Basilio back with you. So proud and glad to be with you. Just blessed to be here. It's pouring outside. Which, again, appropriate last night that it poured on the Vols. Because the reality is there's Bino calling me. I love it. Let's see if we can get Bino in here. Now Bino's in here, and is Brian here? Brian, are you still in here? I think Bino's in here. Bino, is that you? Well, we're going to see what happens. This is fun. I got Bino Jeff now. Well, this is something new. I'm alone. Bino Jeff can call me anytime, okay? What happened to Briny Boy? All right, Bino Jeff, where did Bra go? You know, we're having fun in here. Let's see. Brian, and then we'll go to the phones. There's nothing wrong with a year. You know, that just is what this year is, Bri. At the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with this year, you know?
When you consider what all they lost off last year's team, their top 6 batters.
That's right.
That was really cheat codish. There was going to be there was maybe not, you didn't really know to what extent, but there was.
I mean, you have to laugh. So, okay, so Bino Jeff's call. How's he calling us on another? What are we doing here? We're figuring out.
Tavares Tier's batting 6.
That's right.
Or
That's
5th.
right, Brian.
That you just can't. That's hard to duplicate.
Yep.
And hopefully one day they could get a team that sort of can come close to that. He may never have a team as good as that. He may have teams that win a title, but they won't be as good as that team was.
Well,
but
you know, at the end of the day,
it's still. I'm not happy about. I'm certainly frustrated.
Yeah.
I'm not okay with. It is frustrating and aggravating, but it's easier to take. It's a little easier to take now that they finally have an Addy, and no one can ever say that Tennessee can't win in the postseason in any sport. The callers can't call in and question whether Tony Vitello can win the big one, or will he ever win the big one. That's done with. That topic is RIP. It's dead.
Well, and you know, at the end of the day, and then we'll go to the phones. I'm just willing to look at this year for what it is. I was last week. I am now. There's still, look, it's still baseball. It's still a crazy sport. Missouri went to Texas A&M, and probably eliminated them from the NCAA tournament after they allegedly came here and got right. So who knows? But we await Bino Jeff Henderson's arrival today. What you've been hearing here is him trying to connect with us. We're using a different app than we were. I don't want to bore you with the details, but I thought that we had gotten Bino boned up, but that slipped through the cracks, and we're sort of looking at each other like the Keystone Cops in here, trying to get Bino aligned, and there he is, Bino Jeff. Bino, how you doing? Right on time. How'd you do that, Bino? Say something, Bino. Prove it to me, Bino. Bino, how we doing? Say something to me, Bino.
Hello, Tony B.
So when he comes in, it mutes the deal. It's funny. It mutes me. It's funny. She said that's funny. Laura's getting ready to wring my neck. I said to her, I said, connect him. She said, how? I said, well, he's been connected. She said, no, he hasn't. God, you got me screamed at later, Bino. When I get off the air today, I'm going to feel like I'm back in Catholic school, Bino. I'm going to get my knuckles rapped with a ruler.
Tony, I stay pretty calm through that. You can't change technologies on an septuagenarian. It just it's not a good thing.
Well, it is what it is. And then Brian in the middle of that texted me, am I on? You dropped me. I don't hear anything. I see you in the room, but now there's silence. Now, Brian, we're all together. Brian, how's it feel to be all together on a Monday?
Well, I kind of feel like I'm on the mound at Lindsey Nelson Stadium trying to hold runners on base.
Wow, that's a shot. I want to say felicitacione. I want to say felicitaciones to my friends at VIP Play who are now live. It's an exciting day. We've got a special, what we're calling a Brian Hartman special, up at VIP Play right now. It's my VIP Play Brian Hartman special of the day. Suggested bet. I encourage you to download the app and check out what we're offering because, look, it's an exciting time. 200 leagues to wager on. All your favorite types of bets are there. Go and experience the VIP difference. VIP Will Heflin is in there guaranteeing that you're going to have a tremendous betting experience. Go claim your VIP Play welcome bonus. First bet of $5 or more, you get $100 in bonus bets instantly. I want you to use the promo code TN Tony. Look, they're using some other jokers around the state in this thing. And look, our audience is the best, and I want my props. Okay? Two things. I want my props, and you're the best. Now, I'm offering a Basilio play today in the NBA. I got Brian Hartman's Celtics. You got to go check out the juice on this, but I'm just giving it to you. Go to the site and check it out. I got the Celtics minus 11.5 tonight at the Knicks. Now, the Celtics made an absolute example of them over the weekend. And Brian Hartman, I say they're going to do it again. Can you feel this? Our Celtics, Bri. Because, look, when it's about money, it's
blood money.
It's our Celtics. But it's blood money, Bino. It'd be like Bino betting on Alabama. But, look, I looked at the card. They said, I want to suggest a play. I said, let me tie Brian Hartman into this. Because Brian Hartman is all about it. And route it. And Brian Hartman, do you believe your Celtics cover 11.5 in the Knicks building tonight and make Spike Lee's glasses go crooked? What do you think?
Now, the line I see is 6.5.
That's correct. My special line is 11.5.
So you get more money that way.
Now you're talking.
There we go.
We juiced it up. I think it's going to be like 2-1. But yeah, that's right. Go look at it.
I don't want to talk too much junk right now, but I feel very encouraged by what I saw Saturday.
TN Tony's a promo code when you go over to VIP Play. Download the app right now. It is now live in Tennessee. Let's do this thing! Let's do this thing! All right, Bino, now that I'm all excited, I've come to the conclusion, well, I did last weekend, actually, that this is going to be a season for Tennessee baseball. Now, they're going to make the NCAA tournament, and I don't, quoting a wise man on here, I don't throw any season away where I make the NCAA tournament in any of these sports. And the baseball deal is like basketball in that all you have to do is get in the thing and crazy things can happen. You can get a couple guys hot. You can get guys do things. We're going to need guys to do things they haven't done all year, except for the first 20 games when we played an easier schedule. This team here is not good right now. They're just not. It just sort of is what it is. They're not clutch. No offense to them. They play hard. They just don't make enough winning plays. They don't make enough winning plays on the mound. They don't make enough winning plays at the bat. They don't make enough winning plays in the field. But other than that, I mean, they're going to win some games. Bino, I'd like your thoughts on what we were talking about. Just your thoughts on what we saw this weekend, and then we'll go to the phones.
Yeah, I got a mouthful here, Tony, but I'll get through it. Just another disappointing weekend of baseball here on Rocky Top. I've been saying we've been living in a fantasy land with the level of success we've enjoyed in baseball here recently. And this team's providing a very quick, rude awakening to that fact. Other than the games that Liam Doyle pitches, we're just not an upper-tier SEC baseball team right now. It's a team that isn't presently close to what we're used to at the plate. We have no one we can ride through a series, which I guess we were due for since we've had an embarrassment of riches in that area for a number of years in a row now. It's an attack with just a shortage of power, and that's just not good with runners in scoring position. There are just very, very few big or clutch hits coming out of this lineup. And, you know, when that occurs, your other shortcomings become critical, and those are obviously being the worst defensive team in the league, whose bullpen's been underwhelming, and, of course, the fact that we just have no interest in slowing down the other team's running game. You know, and there comes a time when you just can't defend the indefensible. It's one thing to stress throwing strikes and allow a team to steal second base. It's quite another when you're out there and as Freddie says and as Orange Throat said in the blog today, when every walk, every hit batsman, every bloop single turns into an automatic triple. That you cannot do. Absolutely cannot do. And we especially with Phillips pitching, we've allowed that to occur. And as you said, it doesn't mean that this team can't get in the postseason against teams that are unfamiliar with us and get hot. I keep looking for signs of that, and this is probably an absolute reach or a hope, but I think I saw some signs of that after the rain delay, because although we didn't come all the way back, we got some really quality at bats late in that game in big spots. They didn't turn into hits, didn't turn into runs, but they were quality plate appearances in a big spot. So I hope that's what I saw after the rain delay yesterday. But no, right now, except for when Liam Doyle's on the mound, this is not a very good SEC baseball team.
I tell you what I like what Tony did over the weekend is let his kids play Sunday. I'd let my kids play rest of the way, Bino. I'd let the Grimmer guy play. I'd let Levi Clark play. I would figure out a way to get the kid that we're using to pinch run late in games. I'd figure out a way to get him on the field. I let my kids play.
Abernathy.
I'm not kidding. I mean, to me, I'd tell the rest of the guys, hey, thanks for the memories. I'm going to let my kids play because the other guys aren't producing. You know, it isn't like I'm going to pull people out that are. These guys aren't hitting. These guys can't score. I mean, yesterday they had two innings where they got 3 singles and scored a run. I mean, what are we doing? And the other thing is, Freddie talked about it, and it was a point belabored when we were winning a national championship the way we were letting people run, but we really weren't letting people run on us. This is letting people run wild. We thought people were running on us before, Bino. They're running wild now. Tony had enough of it after the game the other day. Tony snapped. He never does that. You know?
Yeah, and you're right, Tony. This is an egregious. This is egregious what they're allowing to happen when Phillips is pitching. You cannot allow, because that stealing second base generally doesn't lead to a lot of extra runs.
Yeah,
stealing second and third.
It's a mockery.
You cannot allow that to happen, and allowing 2 guys to get into scoring position instead of just one. I mean, they're stealing on the backside too. So no, this you have to reach a point to where you say, hey, this philosophy is fine, but not for this guy. We got to figure something out here.
And the other thing is, throwing over doesn't do anything. All you do when you throw over is slow the game down. To me, this is me. I would say when that kid's pitching, you just go to third. Because I don't want to look at it. I'm not trying to be funny. If I were to take a straw poll in Vol Nation right now, Bino, and I was to say, okay, who wants to say you just go on third? And we'll just start the inning. You're on third, nobody out. It's like the Ghost Runner thing in Major League Baseball. I'm not trying to be funny. The most frustrating thing in the world is watching them throw over 5 times and then the guy runs on the first pitch. And then we do the thing at second where we come off and toss it back and the guy's on third. I mean, literally, that is like watching, like I put in the blog today, and I love these guys. I love Tony. I'm for him. He's my guy. I'm 100% for him. But, man, that looks like 11-year-old kid pitch baseball. The first ball gets by the catcher. And I umped a few of those games. You're sitting back there, and you're trying not to get killed because you don't know where the ball's going. The catcher doesn't catch the ball half the time. And, you know, and we're doing this at a really high level, which is really strange. In an era, by the way, where nobody in the league's stealing bases. Nobody in this league is stealing bases. Like, the stolen base does not exist in our league. Tennessee,
well, I mean, Tony, we've given up, I think, in league play 62 steals.
Yes.
And that's 20 more than anyone else and 50 more than the league leaders.
Yes.
And we're trying to solve a problem that's not a problem. They're not stealing because they got huge leads. So throwing over there, we're not going to get an out that way. You're not even going to hold them any closer. They're stealing because Marcus is in slow motion to the plate.
Yes.
That's why they're stealing.
Yes.
Not because they've got a huge lead.
And if you don't speed it up and don't speed him up, Cannon Peebles could have a literal cannon. You could have JT Realmuto back there with 3 times the arm strength. You're still not going to throw anybody out. And if you go back and watch those steals, I mean, you're walking to second base.
I don't think we have a great defensive catcher, but this isn't a catcher issue.
No. To the phones we go, 865-200-5402. But the weekend, that it rained yesterday and that game ended in front of like 25 people is just so appropriate. This has just been a year where the air has just come out of the thing. And I'm here to say it's okay. It's okay. It's not a reflection on these kids. It's not. It's not that they're not trying. It's just that this team right here just doesn't have enough clutch hitting. They just don't. The Blake Grimmer ball, Bino, the last 5 years would have caught a little bit of wind and would have gone out of the park. Yes or no? I mean, you're going to tell me Mike Mancini, who's their DH, Vandy's DH, doesn't even have a league home run on the year? And you're in the second to last series of the year? That guy couldn't hit the ball out if he threw it up and hit it twice. And he's their DH. We let them hit home runs in our building. How many 0-2 counts are going to see the ball fly out of our park? And that's the way the sport is. Sometimes you're the hammer, and sometimes you're the nail. And Tennessee's been the hammer since Tony Vitello walked onto the campus. And this year, Beanstar, they've been the nail. And that's okay. It is what it is. I've made peace with it,
Tony. And I'll tell you something. If that Vandy team continues to hit with a little pop, they're going to be a really, really tough out in NCAA tournament because they play good baseball. If they get enough pop, they're going to be a really tough out.
Hey, that kid at second base, that freshman with the ultimate Vandy name, Rustin, whatever his name is, that son of a gun can play. They got some guys on their infield that can field it, can pick it now. Let's go to the phones. I want to get as many people in here as humanly possible. And then Throaty tried to drag me into something. Joel Klatt's got us outside the top 25 to begin the year. Joey Football's on campus, soaking it up like a sponge right now after graduating from over there at App State. So Joey Football soaking it up like a sponge, and I want to believe when he walks out there it's going to look a cross between Michael Vick and John Elway. But other than that, I don't have high hopes for him. Let's go to the phones and get as many people in here as humanly possible. The TLD logistics hotlines are burning up. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony. Bino, it's Taylor.
Hey, Tay.
I'm gonna do a little second guessing just for fun of Coach Vitello, and I'll say before I get started that I wish he had a lifetime contract. He is the best, but he's not above reproach, and I think I had the benefit of hindsight. But a couple things here. I don't think in 5 years of watching probably literally every inning, or at least 99% of every UT baseball game, I haven't seen a pitch out in 5 years, Tony. And so I get the whole slide step. You know, Frank doesn't like the slide step, and I kind of fundamentally get what he's coming from. He doesn't want to put extra strain on the arms, on the elbows. He doesn't want to deviate from their natural pitching motion. But, okay, if you're going to do a cursory throw-over, not really a pickoff attempt, if you will. It's not a Drew Beam pickoff attempt. It's not a Xander Seacrest pickoff attempt. It's just a cursory toss the ball over to first base. It would be helpful if Fisher could actually catch the pickoff attempt, but that's a whole nother topic. But why no pitch outs, Tony? Why, when it's obvious they're stealing, I would argue with you the only thing you get by stepping off and making a cursory throw over to first, sometimes you can tell whether he's getting a two-way lead or a one-way lead. You can tell if he's stealing. And if I can tell that he's definitely stealing, I'm sure Tennessee can. I'm curious, Bino, why no pitch outs?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't really have an answer for it, other than it's just our intention on every pitch to pound the strike zone. Other than that, I don't have an answer for you.
Yeah, what you just said drives me crazy, and Tony's alluded to it. 0-2. You've got a guy that has a cannon for an arm. He can throw 100 miles per hour, whether it's Nate Snead, whether it's Franklin. 0-2. Why do you not throw high heat and quote unquote waste a pitch or have them chasing? You've got all the advantage in the world at 0-2 and 1-2. Why are you throwing a middle fastball down the plate at 0-2 consistently? I don't get it. What am I missing, Bino?
I don't think you're missing anything. I just, in those situations, I just don't think we're executing. Again, I think most of our issues are at the plate and not on the mound. But Yeah, you you can't give someone just a cookie in those situations.
I mean, especially when you have the advantage of three pitchers, Phillips, Snead, and Franklin, that have cannons that can throw 100, 102, throw some high heat at 0-2, 1-2, make them chase. Anyway, it's perplexing. Another thing I'll second guess, why is Grimmer doing a safety squeeze with one out in first and third?
Dumbest thing I've ever seen. Matt brought up something yesterday. First of all, these splits in major college baseball are so silly because they don't hold up. Matt was talking about this yesterday. I love that Garza Law extra inning show, and I'm not blowing it up because it's on our network. I'm blowing it up because it's really good. Matt brought up, he asked Will Heflin yesterday. They do this thing at the end of the thing. Is anything else you want to bring up? And Matt says, yeah, I got something. What's up with the splits this year in SEC baseball? Here's the truth about college baseball. These guys overmanage, and I love Tony. But this thing about it's left on left or right on right or whatever it is, and so I'm going to have a guy who the last at bat put a great swing on the baseball, this Grimmer guy. Almost hit the ball out of the ballpark last night. His final at bat, but I'm going to make him bunt there? I got two men on and one out? I mean, I'm sorry. I love Tony. That's crazy.
Tony, a pop fly to the outfield.
Crazy.
You get a sacrifice.
Crazy baseball.
One out.
You're way overthinking this, guys.
Well, here's the other thing, Tony. He didn't have any split. He didn't have any splits on Grimmer. Grimmer's only had
only
five
at bats. That's exactly right. So what are we doing? Let the kid swing.
And then I'll challenge you.
I thought that was a ridiculous decision. Now, Taylor, I want here's the only reason that I could see that you would ever. First of all, I don't think there is a reason, but I'm trying to invent one here.
They have a double play.
Give Tony the benefit of the doubt. I wasn't there, and the view would not give me the defensive alignment. Were they shifted completely and given up a ball down the third base line?
No, not at all. No, as I recall, they were in a pretty normal defensive alignment.
That was the only thing that I even had in my mind that I could think why you would think that. You know, I'm a never bunt guy, just
never.
About. So
in college baseball, I'm going to bunt.
All over me.
Bino, in college baseball, I'm bunting. I got an aluminum bat in my hand, man. I got a kid that can jerk a ball out of the park. Why would I bunt the ball? Who, by the way, this first at bat, okay, 3 strikes and three. He sat down. He looked overmatched. His second at bat, he hit the ball hard twice, and then he put it in play and got you a base hit down the line. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Just giving them an out. Just
dumb.
To give up.
And I love
and a
Tony.
Ground ball,
what are you
doing?
Ball,
the shortstop scores a run there, Tony. As
and
long
I
as it's
love
not a
the guy.
play.
What are you doing?
Here's the other thing, Tony. I'm going to challenge you on this. You recall last year, Bino and Tony, Amick was in like a 0 for 22 slump. And guess what? Tony never benches guys that are draft eligible, especially if they're going to be high rounds. He just doesn't do it. And I get it. I'm probably doing the same if I'm him too, right? I get it. I totally understand it.
Yes.
But, okay, Chapman's a junior. I ride with Chapman. I let him work his way out of it. He was your best hitter the first half of the season. He's going into a slump. I let him hit his way out of it. Sorry, I don't put in the freshman. I don't.
No, I do.
Here's the other thing. Chapman catches that ball 99 out of 100 times. Newstrom was too far up against the wall. He didn't use his hand to figure out, and he couldn't leap.
You're right.
He absolutely should have caught that ball. That should have been an out, not a triple. Chapman makes that play blindfolded. I kind of get tired of certain people not getting the benefit of the doubt. I think Chapman has earned the benefit of the doubt. I'd have left him in right field. Certainly Amick and others get the benefit of the doubt, but for some reason Chapman does not. Why in the heck did he pull Tegan Coons after 3 2/3 innings, 48 pitches, 29 strikes, 1 earned run? He was cruising.
It didn't make any sense.
I know the kid who hit a home run against him was up next. I don't care. Don't throw him a fastball. Change the pitching calls. Do not pull Coons after 3 2/3. He was not in any trouble. No traffic on the bases. That was idiotic.
I could not agree more with that. We're going to differ, and I appreciate the call. We're going to differ on your take on Chapman, who I love. I love that kid. Great story. But man, he's really scuffling. You got to win this series. You got to figure out a way to win this series. And I think comparing a corner infielder and a guy in right field, I think that's apples to oranges in baseball. To me, I'm going to pull a corner outfielder and I'm gonna experiment, and maybe I can wake him back up. I'm not discarding him, but I'm telling you this: I'd figure out a way to play these kids more, because the kids put good swings on the ball over the weekend. The kids put good swings on the ball. Bino, your thoughts?
Well, it comes back to something I've said over and over, Tony. I believe if your entire intention is to be developed to play Major League Baseball, then if you can, you should go directly out of high school into the minor leagues. If you choose to come to college, then it becomes about winning baseball games. And I'm not going to worry about your draft status. I'm going to do what's best for me to win baseball games, short of hurting pitchers and things like that.
Well, it's kind of like the Chase Burns thing. That year, Bino, if they did not put him in the bullpen, there's no way in the world they make the College World Series. I talked to Tony that offseason. If you had a chance to do it over after he left, would you do it? He said, yeah, I'd have done it again. We knew he was going to go. As soon as we did it, we knew he was leaving. He kind of, at some point, to me, you got to walk into your locker room. And Bino, my thing is a corner infielder, when I don't have other options there, and a corner outfielder are two completely different things in my world. Bino, am I wrong?
No, I don't think you're wrong, Tony. It's just and again, if the reasoning is I'm not going to sit this kid because I don't want to hurt his draft status, even though he's hurting us on the field, I think that's the wrong thing to do in college. I don't think that it was a bad thing to try someone else in Reese's spot.
Yep.
Because he struggled last year and then played well early this year.
Right.
And now the struggles have returned.
Right. And the wheel will come back around
think
for him.
they've been given I never worry about Tony and Frank or whoever not giving these kids the benefit of it. They give them, in my opinion, too much benefit of that.
Now, the Kuntz thing yesterday, I'm not a pitching coach, and I'm not a manager, and I'm not in their shoes. He's got 2 outs in the inning. Why? And the bases are clear. Why? Okay, the guy hits a second home run on you. Okay, second home run. Yeah, and? I mean, when you go to your bullpen, this bullpen we have right now, you're inviting instability, in my mind. And I love Tony. I love him. I mean, I would second guess him to his face. I'm not this is not, oh, you're not going to say, well, we've invited him on this week, and I'm not going to pick at him, because here's the thing I'm going to say to him. I like the fact that you've made this sport hurt. He's made it mean enough to me that it could piss me off over the weekend, And I'm going to tell you something. Our Guards of Law Extra Innings show had a football-like viewership. Kudos to Matt and Will for that yesterday. VIP play Will Heflin, who just launched today. Promo code TNTony. Go download the app. I don't want to lose these jokers around the state. These jokers in the mid-state. Nuh-uh. You're going to go download that app, and you're going to claim your bonus bet, and you're going to make it rain, because that's what you're going to do. TN Tony. VIP play. Let me go back to the phones. But Taylor,
Tony, we have a tremendous staff.
Incredible.
But there's no one out there that's infallible.
Well,
there's no one out there that's above question.
And the great thing about baseball, Bino, is we could sit in a room 5 of us could watch the same thing, come to 5 different conclusions, and all of us be partially right. That's what's great about the game.
I know they know their roster better than I. Yep. They know their staff better than I. I've never questioned that.
No. Will made it. Will made
it. 60 baseball games, you're going to make some mistakes.
Will made a great point yesterday. He's right. When it's going well for you, and Tony does the quirky things he does, and they work out, he's a genius. When it's not going well for you, and he makes some of these quirky moves that he makes, he just does. He's like a hunch player, you know? I vehemently disagree with some of it, like this stuff with the splits, and this fascination with the splits at the college. This is not Major League Baseball. I'm sorry, it's not. It's not. You can pretend like it is. It's not. The great hitters are going to hit you left, right, left, left, right, turned around. I mean, come on now. So what am I doing? And when I go to my pen and I'm Tennessee, I'm destabilizing myself this year. That's what I'm doing. Bino, did you see any reason to take that Coons kid out of that game yesterday? I mean,
I questioned that at the time it happened.
And I love these guys. I love these guys.
He was cruising. He was cruising. Really, I thought it was his best outing of the entire year.
Cruising. Let the man cook. Let the man cook. But let's go to the phones. It's TLD Logistics phone line. What I was trying to say about the size of that audience yesterday is this Vanderbilt series means a little something extra. Like you're in a conference where it just means a little more. Bino mentioned something Friday. I love the fact that we have a real rivalry with them in something. I was telling the great Billy Derrick that over the weekend. I love the fact, and he's a Vandy guy, but I love the fact, and that's okay with me. I love the fact that they care about it, we care about it. After the game yesterday, they were jawing at each other. Our shortstop was applying a high tag in their face a couple times, Bino. Stuff like that, to me, is sort of what it's all about. There's a little extra juice in that deal. Neither Vandy nor Tennessee has their best team this year, but it doesn't matter because we're still in it in the moment. And, man, I'm going to tell you something. That Saturday game, Beanstar, was all-time frustrating to me. You talk about a sporting event that really, really urinated me off. That thing urinated me off, Bino.
Well, it was just ugly brand of baseball. That was just bad baseball. I thought yesterday's game after the first inning, I thought that was a well-played baseball game.
Agree.
After we gave away things in the first inning. They were just better than us yesterday.
I love our approach against them.
We were playing on Saturday.
Yeah.
I don't know. That ain't baseball.
Hey, Bino, we got their junk ball pitcher out of there with a really solid
great approach. Just great approach.
Great approach.
He had 45 pitches after 2 innings.
Great scout. And they had to get
slowing
him
down, which you had to do to keep him out of rhythm.
Yep.
Perfect approach.
Back to the phones we go. It's a shame they couldn't get home with the series, because if they get home with the series, we're having a different conversation right now. We're talking about how we're alive to host, and we're alive to host maybe a super if you go into Arkansas and win the deal. But, man, Tennessee's history in Arkansas, they haven't won a series there since before I was born, I think. Back to the phones we go on your TLD Logistics phone lines. Hello and welcome in. It's a Thursday through Saturday deal, so it's going to be upon us before you know it. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Bino, how you doing, man? One thing I can say about you Tennessee fans, man, some of y'all are the whiniest people I ever seen in my life, bro. This dude done won your championship. You criticizing everything he do, and then when he go into a slump, just a little bitty slump, you up in here crying like somebody done took your bottle from you, Tony B. If you cry, what the baby gonna do?
Well,
let the man coach him, bro.
You know what my parents told me?
You're gonna have bad days.
Hey, Hank, you know what my parents told me? They said,
what's that?
Of all our kids, we knew you were going to be a talker because when you cried in that crib, you could hear it all over the neighborhood. They said your lungs were unbelievable, Andy Mack.
Man, and I heard it, man. Hell, when I call this station, your ratings go sky high, man, because I'm the only one can bring you back down to the earth, bro.
Is that what it is?
Let it go.
Is that
Let him cook.
What do you think of my Celtics tonight? 11.5. I say lay the points. They're going to lay the hammer down, smack it down on the Knicks. On Refalytics Judd's New York Knicks tonight, they're in trouble.
No, the Celtics are done. They too tired, man.
Brian Hartman, how do you plead to that, Briney boy? Now something for you, Bri. The Brian Hartman special.
You ripping your boy Al Horford, Florida?
No. When you live by the three, you can also die by the three. Maddie,
well,
Brown,
no question.
Like they might be a little bit tired.
They were up. The Celtics. Hey, Brian, what was the score after a quarter the other day in that Celtic game?
The Celtics were leading by 15 or more points for the last nearly 3 quarters of that game.
Go!
And they were up by over 20 points the entire second half.
Go!
And sometimes by as much as 30.
Hey, Brian, what was the game at halftime, the Cleveland game yesterday? They were down like 40 points at halftime. You talk about
I think one score I saw was 166 or some crazy notion like that.
You talk about the Indiana Pacers getting started like the hammer and finishing like Shaquille yesterday on them.
Hey,
big
what
boy.
I tell you about Cleveland sports, if LeBron James ain't on their roster, Cleveland sports is cursed.
The Hassels ought to just go ahead and make it official and own the Cavaliers while they're at it.
But can I ask y'all a question?
No.
When you live by the three, you die by the three. And guess what? They hit one little game, hit some threes, they hit their shots. But when you lose 2 games at home, bro, that's a problem.
NBA's hard to watch, man, because all they do is just sit out there and they'll just make the game target practice, put moguls out there, and I mean it's a ridiculous form of basketball right now.
They've gotten 20-point leads or more in 3 straight games.
That's what I'm saying.
If you're a Celtic fan, you have to hope this doesn't go the same pattern as Indiana and Cleveland.
What's that mean, Bino? What do you mean by that?
That means you blow 2 games at home. You go in game 3 in the other team's court and blow them out, and then the 4th game, they blow you back out.
Hey, Bino, let me ask you something. When you look on VIP Play and you see the Brian Hartman special, which is what it's called, and you look at that graphic up above, when you open that app, you know damn right well that ain't going to happen when it's got Brian Hartman's name on it. Now, come on. Come on now.
One more thing before I get out of here, Tony B, because you riding Little B's jock today. You'll find a way to ride somebody's jock all day.
Hey, Florida, I got a little chant for you because he's on campus right now. Hang on before you get going. I want you to learn this summer. Joey football, cha 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 cha. Joey football, cha 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 cha. Joey football, cha 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 cha.
So who is this quarterback? My buddy sent me something on here that said y'all got a little 5-star quarterback. Gave him $7 million. Is that fake news or is that true?
Fake news.
Okay, I seen somebody sent me that on Facebook, and I didn't know. They're gonna ride with Aguilar.
Joey football. Bino, what do you think of Joey football? You excited for the Joey football era?
I hope that Joey is the player he was 2 years ago. I'll take that.
Is your quarterback yet at Florida? Because I need to get a download on this next time Hughie's on. What's the latest on his shoulder situation? I sure hope that kid can play this fall because that was a great freshman.
Playing, man. Don't try to.
Well, he hadn't thrown a football. Wait a second. No. He hadn't thrown a football. What do you mean he's playing? What are you looking?
He's throwing it. He just ain't letting y'all know he's throwing it. Why are you worried about what my man gonna do? We gonna be there. Don't worry about it, Tony B. We're there. Okay?
I'm not worried about you. I'm asking you about
him. You are.
No, and I'm being serious. I don't want to see anybody get hurt, and I love that kid. He's a brilliant young player. I mean that.
And he's gonna mollywop y'all this year. Don't worry about it. I'll be at that game. I done bought my tickets already. I'll be down in Gainesville.
Did you say?
What? Hopefully you'll ride with me.
Did you say mollywalk or mollywop?
He's gonna mollywop y'all. You know that word. You know that word you don't like. That Italian word you don't like.
You're out of here. No slurs on here, dude. Come on. Bino, I thought it was mollywalk.
Tony, I heard a national broadcaster say mollywop the other day, and I thought immediately.
I heard Heflin say it last night. You know, Florida, I apologize to you. That was not racist, what you just did, or not racist. That's not racist. It's like politically incorrect. It's not like it's racist or anything. So I stand corrected, Florida. I apologize. I cut you off. Well, I really cut you off because the first hour's over. 865-200-5402. Here's the thing about the Tennessee baseball deal. First of all, they're due a down year, which they're having. Secondly, the season's not over because it's a crazy game. Look at what Missouri did with Texas A&M. Texas A&M went from thinking, hey, you know what, maybe we could be one of the 16 host sites to being out of the tournament in one weekend. Now, I don't know how they did that. I'm not sure how you do that. But that was brutal, what happened to them. They got beat like 10-1 yesterday. Did you guys see that? They almost got run-ruled in their own building. I don't know. Here's the thing. They were in the championship series last year. Tennessee won it. There's a hangover in this deal. There's a hangover in this deal. It's just the way it is. Tennessee under Tony has been so consistent and so good. We had it in the blog last week. Many of these teams that win a natty don't even get to the NCAA tournament the next year. I'm not saying we should be happy about this. I'm not. God knows Danny White is charging an arm and a leg for the rights to go over there and watch that stuff. I'm not saying that. And I'm not going to rain down your leg and tell you that I'm doing something else, okay? We're not doing that. But at the same time, I mean, you got to keep this thing in perspective. 865-200-5402. On the other side, we'll get some more calls in. Bino, Throaty today tried to pull me over at tclub.team into a deal with Joe Klatt, and Joe Klatt saying that the Vols aren't a top 25 team, and what if? We'll talk about expectations and what if with this 2025 team. What if? What if we go 7-5? What if? As we continue with more, I want Bino's thoughts on that and Bry's thoughts on that. On a day where Brian Hartman figures huge in the launch of VIP play because it's a Brian Hartman play tonight, the Celtics. And I'm for it, not against it, as we continue with more on the other side after this.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law, fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
WJBE 1040 AM 99.7 FM. Translator W259AB. Powell, Knoxville.
Hey, Basilio, and we've got Chad Stockton with FC Alliance. Chad?
Well, I'm up in Johnson City, Tennessee with our FC Alliance North location that we started this past fall. We are doing well. We kickstarted the spring season with games this past weekend, and we've got more games coming up the next few weeks. So we're excited about what the springtime holds for us. Our girls, ECNL, is also into the middle of their spring season. They hosted a huge weekend this weekend coming from Pittsburgh and New York, the teams they hosted. Good results, hard teams they played all weekend long. We've got such a focus on skill development and focusing on what's the right way to play for our kids. As we continue to grow, we're expecting our programs to continue to grow like they have been the past few years. Our tryouts are coming up in late May. For the U12 and under, it's the middle of May, and then for the older kids, it'll be late May. But we're expecting to grow not only in Knoxville, but also in Johnson City.
And if you want more information, you can see what Chad's talking about and hear those kids and get involved. It's FCAllianceKnox.org. Again, FCAllianceKnox.org. Hey, Chad, thanks, man. Many happy returns, my brother.
Thank you, Tony.
Listen up, baseball fans. It's time to step up to the plate and get some new Tennessee gear from Alumni Hall. Don't you dare swing and miss by shopping elsewhere. Alumni Hall has the best selection, top brands for you to choose from. Shop in store, 3 Knoxville locations, or Bristol or Murfreesboro. Anytime, online, anywhere in the world at alumnihall.com. Come grab your Tennessee baseball jerseys. Incredible. Oh, Coach Vitello's jersey, hats, decals, t-shirts, and so much more. Earn $10 in rewards for every $150 spent. Shop Alumni Hall, your ultimate Tennessee shopping destination. Go Vols from Alumni Hall. Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow, I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care, I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net. TB here for Cedar Bluff Plumbing, a live and local company that's been serving our area for over 32 years and counting, because every customer counts, and I mean, no job is too small. Cedar Bluff Plumbing just voted #1 by City View magazine because multiple plumbing experts are on call to serve all your plumbing needs. Chances are there'll be a plumber in your area when you call, and they won't send some salesman to your house. You're going to get a high character, trustworthy, highly trained plumber who will serve you. Not like some of these guys that look like they came off the set of America's Most Wanted. Cedar Bluff Plumbing is Basilio tested and approved and will go the extra mile for you because Chucky Mack is a servant of the people and my consigliere to the throne, celebrating over 32 years of serving living volunteers. Cedar Bluff Plumbing. Call 588-4448. That's 588-4448. Cedar Bluff Plumbing.
Attention Vol fans, are you tired of complicated, clunky fleet technology that makes your job harder? Say goodbye to frustration and hello to Connexial, your hometown partner in logistics. It's time to rev up your operations with next level fleet management from Connexial. Connexial is here to keep your business on track with technology that works as hard as you do. Our game-changing ELD gives you more than just hours of service. With AI-powered dash cameras and real-time asset tracking, you'll have eyes on the road, cargo, and your fleet from anywhere, anytime. And the best part, our friendly US-based customer support team is just one phone call away. No more long wait times or frustrating tech talk. Just real people with real solutions. With Connexial, you get a professional team you can trust and easy-to-use products that keep you on the road. What do you say, Tony?
I'm ready. Make the smart move and call Connexial today.
865-888-6920. Learn more at Connexial.com. That's KONEXIAL.com. Drive life with Connexial and go Vols.
Yeehaw! Some people say betting online is still the wild, wild west. But with the VIP Play app, you're riding with the best. VIP Play app is hotter than a $2 pistol packed with flair. Live hosts and features finer than a frog hair. Send your old betting problems out of town with a slap. You'll be betting sharp as a tack on the VIP Play app.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-88-99789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
Jeff Hall here. I'm a partner at Rather & Kittrell Capital Management. Life is full of transitions. Planning for retirement, managing investments, or navigating major life changes. Here at Rather & Kittrell, we're here to guide you through every step. Visit rkcapital.com or call 865-218-8400 to start your journey toward financial clarity today. Rather & Kittrell is a registered investment advisor.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B. Tony B back with you, 865-200-5402. One caller fell off on our TLD Logistics phone line during our brief respite there. We were talking in studio. I got to ask, Throat tried to pull me in, Bino, into some conversation about some guy named Joel Klatt, whatever that is, some guy that played West Coast football. I guess he's on Fox, and on their coverage. I'm kind of familiar with him, but not really. And he didn't have the Vols in his top 25, and I'm supposed to like viscerally react to this. First of all, Joel Klatt's entitled to his opinion. And he says Tennessee's not a top 25 team, and he had 10 other SEC teams in his survey, and okay, fine. I mean, look, we lost our quarterback, and we don't have playmakers. I don't blame a guy on the left coast for... And by the way, we didn't exactly light the world on fire offensively when we had our quarterback last year, so... I asked today in the blog, what if? What if we go 7-5? What if? He had a cute little slogan he came up with, and... Mine was 8-4 and give me $10 million more, because that's what your football coach is going to make $10 million. So 8-4, $10 million more. I mean, what do you want me to say? Does it offend you, Bino, that Joel Klatt didn't put the Vols in his top 25? Does that move you? And what if we go 7-5? What if?
No, it doesn't offend me, Tony, because as you said, we've probably traded down at quarterback. And there is, we've got unproven skill position players that are going to have to step up and be what our staff apparently thinks that they can be.
And two freshmen.
I don't blame anyone for not thinking this is a top 25 team.
And 2 freshmen in our offensive line. But here's the thing, and this is the truth, okay? You tell me how weird it would be or how on point it would be if this showy football guy comes in here and plays better football than Nico at quarterback. Which, by the way, could happen. Could happen.
Yeah, it'll be the second time that somebody's just kind of showed up out of nowhere and ran the offense well. I hope that's exactly what happened.
It would be so funny. First of all, it would make Josh Heupel laugh, and then it would make him mad. Because he'd be like, why can't I find these guys? Who is this guy? Why can't I find him? Because Nico did not fit what they do. He just didn't. He's not a runaround guy. He didn't want to run. He's a reluctant runner.
Does Heupel ever get mad?
Oh, you've seen how competitive he is, bro. Come on. He's a fiercely competitive person. Sure he does. He doesn't show it. But he's stoically very competitive and very proud of his offense. And I'm sure last year was very humbling. It would be great if they figure out a way to get back to taking the top off of defenses again. I don't know how all that's going to work with some of the schematically some of the changes that have occurred. But if they can figure out some counters and get back to taking the top back off of defenses, it'll be very interesting. Let's go back to our phones. 865-200-5402 is the number. But I don't know what my reaction is supposed to be from Throat today. It's like, well, what's Tony going to say? Because Tony's 9-3. Listen, a 9-3 football season this year is worth celebrating. Do you guys agree with that? Bino?
Well, Tony, I mean, I'd have to see the season, how it plays out, what makes it then to 9-3. But yeah, I mean, if you look at it, that's better than anyone's predicting.
Hello.
That's playoff contention.
With a fresh new quarterback? I mean, drag me if you want, but with a fresh quarterback who just got here, he's going to have, 100 days maybe? And like I say in the blog today, these guys tell us how important spring and winter workouts are. If this kid comes in off the streets and can play, it's going to be one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Because I'm telling you something, the football establishment is cheering for Tennessee. For once in your life, Tennessee gets to wear a white hat. They're like a white knight in this deal. And Nico's a heel. Nico, who seems like a pretty good kid, is a heel wrestler. That's what he is.
Hate that for the kid.
I hate it for the kid. Total heel wrestler. The whole establishment is rooting against him. And when people bring him to the ground this year, they're going to bring him to the ground with a little extra oomph, Bino. because other football players do not like what that kid did to his team. You can say, well, we're living in a different era and it's a different deal now. It ain't that different. Quarterbacks have to be different. Kind of like what happened to Johnny Manziel when he went to pro football and they were hovering over him and doing the money sign and all that nonsense. You remember that, Beanstar, how offended the establishment was with Johnny Manziel?
Yeah.
They hated him. Those pro guys couldn't wait to get their hands on that little pipsqueak. Tennessee's going to wear a white hat this fall. It's going to be really interesting. If this guy can play at all, and they can get back to hitting some long balls, you don't need him to be perfect, and he's going to throw interceptions. He's going to drive you nuts. But back to what we were discussing. Brian, you wanted to say something about Marcus Phillips, then we'll go to the phones. Then we'll get back to our TLD Logistics phone line, online at tldlogistics.com. Shout out to them.
Yeah, he's been the target of some visceral attacks, even from his own coaching staff. But I don't forget what happened in the LSU series where he went out there the next night after that heartbreaker on Friday and just shut that lineup down, that good hitting lineup down in a win. And also think about how well Florida's playing right now. Back early in March, game 2, he throws 7 shutout innings and a run rule victory for the Vols. He was dominant in that game against them. So those are 2 pretty large wins right now for Tennessee that without, they might even have slid even closer to being on the bubble. So we can't forget how dominant Marcus Phillips has the potential to be, even though, the base runners that he lets on tend to be have too much freedom.
Not to mention that that's not his fault. Not
Yeah.
to mention that that's not his fault, Brian. That's the fault of the philosophy of the coaching staff, not his.
Good point.
Well, come on, Bino.
And it just hasn't worked with him.
Bino, he's slower to Christmas to the plate now. Come on.
Amen. So why haven't they changed that? Why haven't they worked on that? Because they don't think that it's important.
Matt said something really interesting at the end of that show yesterday. TLD Logistics, extra innings. By the way, Garza Law extra innings, I'm sorry, on your TLD Logistics phone line. I'm punch drunk today. I got to tell you that the point that Matt made is these guys are going to get to the edge where they say, okay, enough's enough. This was our philosophy. I think Matt's right. I think Saturday's game, you made the point, Bino, earlier. Your brother called Friday's show and said, hey, full confession, I can't watch these teams run the bases on us. It's not sound. And your brother said, and look, the Tennessee baseball thing, it's almost to the point now in college sports where they're the only thing I'm looking forward to. And this version of it is kind of unwatchable because teams take such liberties on us on the base paths. That is kind of what your brother said, right? And then I'll be damned if that Saturday game wasn't the worst example of it. I was thinking of him the whole time. I was thinking, Fat Five Freddy was pretty prophetic. Here's my thing. You going to steal second on me all the time? Okay, fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
You going to steal third on the next pitch?
I ain't giving you third.
Twice on the next pitch. I said last hour for those just tuning in, and I'm serious about this. I would rather you say you just go over to third base, so I don't have to watch it. I don't want to watch that. I feel violated as a sports fan. In high school baseball, we didn't give up first and second base, or second and third base like that. High school baseball. I don't know about junior college or 1AA or NAIA or any. I can't speak to that. Bino, in high school baseball, do they give up bases like that? I mean, what are we doing? So hopefully it becomes more of a priority. And I love this coach. But when you're not hitting home runs and you have a small ball baseball team yourself and you're letting somebody run wild on you, I mean, no wonder Tony snapped after the game. I thought it was interesting what he said about Phillips, Bino. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, and I think that's frustration coming out with Tony. Tony hasn't been in this situation either. This is new to him here too. So he's I don't think he's reacting great to it as well. And again, the place where it's egregious is when Phillips is pitching. It's not egregious when anyone else is pitching. This is a situation where you have to understand your philosophy is not one size fits all. You may have to do a little something different with a certain pitcher than you do with everybody else.
Coons is pretty slow to the plate as well. And he's going to get run on next year when he's your frontline guy. Just a prediction if they don't amend things. Not going to belabor the point, but he's pretty slow to the plate as well. Let's go back to the phones. 865-200-5402. On your TLD Logistics phone line, you're on the air. Welcome in.
Hey, Tony, this is E.
Hey, E, welcome in.
All right, let me do some trash talk here. Let's take out the trash. First of all, this Joel Klatt guy, I put him in the same bucket with Florida, so both of these guys are going to get it today. Now, Klatt, I don't care. He's probably, fair enough. I would drop us after, hey, you've had this huge change in your lineup on football. But this is the same guy after Shiano Sunday that said Tennessee didn't deserve a coach. And I've never forgot that. Now,
is that right, Thrody? Going to throw Joel Klatt at me, who said we didn't deserve to have a coach. So this guy has an axe to grind against the Vols, huh?
Well, he just, like all of them, he wants to take a shot when Tennessee's having some hard times and act like we suck and all the rest of it. Man, go suck one, Joel. Now, Florida, bro, you guys don't show up until Tennessee has a tough stretch. And when Florida's teams are in the gutter, where are you guys? Crickets. Nowhere. Your stadium's empty. You and y'all creeper coaches from basketball to baseball to the shark humper in football. Hey, bro, step off. Don't worry about your own stuff. By the way, it is time for us to have a rough year. Big deal. Big deal. You said it, Tone, and I was going to say it. It's great to feel upset about baseball again. You know what I mean? It's great to care enough about it that, hey, we've been winning at a clip that was just incredible, and all of a sudden it's like, man, it's like we're learning how to lose with the wheels falling off a little bit.
Yep, that's exactly right.
That's nice. It's nice to have those times so that you actually appreciate when you're winning, instead of just going into a hole and forget about it.
Well, and it's okay to admit it, by the way. First of all, it's okay to admit that it hurts. And it's also okay to admit that, this team just kind of is not what we're used to. There's no crime in it. And it isn't that the kids aren't trying. The kids play hard.
And it's not that it's not that I've lost faith in Tony Vitello. Not at all. Not at all. This is his first head coaching gig, his first time being the head coach. So he's going to have some struggle, and he's going to have to figure it out. And he's got to get the right guys in there and the right. And I think something's changed with the chemistry. We had so many guys that are all gone from that magical team last year, right? From Cal Stark to Dylan Dreiling to Christian Moore to Tears and on and on and on. All these guys, they're gone, right? Blake Burke, and they're gone. It's a different club. It is a very different club. So that's a step back. Listen, I ain't going to begrudge them that. They will get this figured out. But it's kind of like, I think it's a little bit like football for us. In 2022, you had such an incredible offense, and even in late 21, when Hooker took over that offense, you could get away with a whole lot of sins on defense, right? Because your offense was so good. We're not there anymore, right? And you saw that. You saw it in 23 particularly. And I think you're seeing some of that stuff now with Tennessee. Y'all have already said it. The only thing we've got that's really good is Friday night pitching. Past that, I'm scratching my head to wonder when won a Saturday game this year. It's just going to be a tough year, and that's okay. That's okay. You know what? We're still the world champions of college baseball, and I feel real good about our chances to get there again. This is not a bum coaching staff. They're going to figure this out, and they're going to learn some things too. You know.
There's no doubt.
Two things, and it's a really good comparison that you make. This is a lot like what we've seen in football, where when we were a point a minute team, we could be the highest penalized team in the SEC and get away with it. When we stop scoring all those points, then you start stalling these drives when we have to go the long way, and you don't score any points because of it.
Yeah, just like the base running.
The other thing on the baseball side is, hey, if our bad years are, wonder if we're going to host a regional or have to go on the road. Sign me up for that.
Yeah, and Will Heflin will tell you. I think he said it the first show that he did. It was like, well, you know, he can remember when there was 12 people in the stands. Right? That was a good night for them. No, not anymore. Not anymore, man. Well, anyway, go Vols in peace. See you.
Thank you, brother. It's a really, really, really great point about the little things when you're out there flying. Because if Tennessee was hitting home runs right now, hey, if the ball would have gone out of the park that Grimmer hit yesterday, we would be in a completely different place right now. Now, we'd still be aggravated with the base running stuff from Saturday, and that would come up on here because we're very discerning, and we love the sport and want to see it played properly. But yeah, that's the margin here. That's what we're talking about. Back to the phones we go. Hello and welcome in. Yeah, the penalties and the Heupel stuff, when you're not scoring, really, really is magnified, and it's really annoying when you're not scoring. Welcome in to our next caller on our TLD Logistics phone lines. You're on the air. Hi.
Hey, Tony. It's Dave in Ackworth.
Hey, Dave. Good to talk to you.
Hey, Brian. Hey, Bino. Appreciate you guys being here.
Dave.
Hey, a couple of observations about Phillips, which is it's kind of weird because on one hand we talk about how we treat pitchers, how we nurse them back when they've been hurt. We really protect these guys' draft stocks. This slow delivery from Phillips is certainly not helping his draft stock, at all. So. And Tony's frustration this weekend and basically calling Phillips out tells me that they may be working with Phillips to deliver the ball to the plate faster, and he's not doing it. Because it's not like Tony to go calling somebody out like that unless that guy's not doing something that they want him to do.
I've never heard Tony do that.
Yeah, I never have either.
I've never heard him say anything about a player like that in a public setting, ever.
And that's not to me. That's not frustration. It's obviously frustration, but I think it's frustration that he's not doing what they're telling him to do. And I'm assuming that's speeding the delivery to the plate. And he gets out there in the game and slows right back down like he has been. So that's kind of my take on that.
Yeah, it's interesting, Dave. I wonder what effect it really does have on his draft stock. I don't know. I'm not saying you're incorrect, but I think in a lot of cases, these guys look at spin rate and upside velocity and that kind of thing, and the pros think, hey, we'll get him and make something out of him.
I can teach you that.
That's true.
That's
right.
True.
That's
right.
Yeah,
I can
a good
teach
point,
you that.
But
yes.
We know it's not helping his draft stock. Let's put it that way. May not be hurting it any, but he's certainly not helping it any. And talking about the pitchers, I'm thinking about the past 4 or 5 years and our success that we've had, and look at this year and the makeup of our relief staff. And to me, there's a glaring difference between this year and previous years, and that to me is our volley fingers type guys, our slow curveball guys, our guys that just after seeing heaters for 5 and 6 and 7 innings, you throw out these guys that all of a sudden now they're throwing at 80 miles an hour, and They're throwing stuff, they're giving all kinds of different looks that these guys haven't seen. This year, it seems like our relief pitchers are just more of the same that our starting pitchers are. So these guys are not seeing a whole lot of change from starting pitchers to relief pitchers for us. And now again, I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about baseball, but I'm just trying to figure out what is really different this year from our relief pitchers, because our relief pitchers have been good for the last 4 or 5, 6 years, as far as I know, that I can tell. They haven't been great pitchers, but man, they do the job when they come in there. These guys are supposedly better pitchers, but they're not getting the job done. Why is that? Well, to me, that's the difference. What do you think about that?
That's a great point. Look, when you throw the ball 101 miles an hour and you're giving into somebody 0-2 constantly, Bino, obviously they're not calling for a ball middle on an 0-2 count. But it's happening constantly to our pitching staff, Bino, our relief guys. And I guess it's just part of this team-wide slump they're in. They're not executing on offense. And they're just not executing. They're not executing on the mound. They're just not executing.
Yeah, I don't think our staff has great confidence or really has a good feeling about who should fill what role, because no one's really stepped up to show that, hey, I can be this guy every time, almost every time. So, and we on previous, I think we had better role definition on our past bullpens than we do in this one. And we've lost a lot of those guys too. It's basically a new group.
Yeah, and last thing, to me, it just looks like you're not giving them. You're not giving teams any off speed stuff, any consistent off speed stuff, which I thought was great about Volley Fingers. He would come in and throw that slow curve, and after those guys had seen heat for 6-7 innings, they couldn't adjust to that. Now you can't leave him out there for 3 innings, but by golly, there was nobody better than coming in and getting an out that you needed than him. I just don't. That's the role I don't see on this team, is that guy coming in giving somebody a completely different look that they've seen all game long. And I just thought I just think that's a big difference in this team. And lastly, I'm going to say one of the strengths of our teams in the past have been walks. We're getting no walks. And I'm assuming that's because pitchers aren't afraid to throw down the middle at us because we're not hitting the ball. I mean, is that what that is? Because, I know they've been looking at strike 3 a few times on 3-2 counts trying to get walks, but pitchers aren't walking us like they did in years past. Is that just a fear thing? They don't fear us anymore, so they can just throw the ball down the middle?
What do you say, Ben?
Well, it goes right back to Dave. We don't have a guy. We don't have a guy that brings a whole lot of. We've had 2 or 3 or 4 guys in the lineup that the opponents feared before. Now I'm not sure if it's not Fisher, who it is, or Keelan prior to his injury.
Yep.
If it's not those, I don't know who it is that they fear.
Yeah, it just seems like to me the number of walks we're getting per game is way down, and which is frustrating to me because we have to be leading the country in 2 stats that I haven't seen yet. We've got to be leading the country in 2 out, bases empty hits. It seems like we don't have a rally unless there's 2 outs and nobody on, and we get like what I call empty calorie hits, which is a base hit with 2 outs and nobody on. We've got to be leading the country in that number of hits with 2 outs and nobody on, and then obviously the runners left on base. I haven't seen statistics. I know they're starting to show how many people have been stealing against us. I'd love to see who out there has more runners left on base than us, because that's been a problem from game 1 of this season. I mean, even when we were winning games, we were leaving 8, 9, 10 guys on base every single game. I would love to know what that statistic is nationwide, because it's got to be horrible how many guys are leaving on base. Guys, I appreciate y'all. Have a great week. Talk to you soon.
What was his other one, Bino? 2 outs and nobody on. What was the second one he just mentioned? Or Brian? What was his second
Leaving
point?
Lots of base runners on base, even when they were winning. They left it. They did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was the problem. It's coming back to bite them now.
It's just not a good attack with runners in scoring position. It's just not. For whatever reason. You have years like that.
Yep.
Something else to mention, they had a runner, Bargo, after he reached on a bunt in the 7th, I think. He was at second, nobody out. They always get that productive out a batter too late. They got him moved over to third after Curley could not do it with his ground out. And then, of course, instead of if they get the fly ball with 2 outs, if it occurs with 1 out, they tie the game. And, of course, the guy leading off the next inning gets a fly ball that would have been deep enough to score. It always comes 1 out too late.
Winning teams just make winning plays. And losing teams are going to make losing plays. And this team's learning how to lose. And
even when they do have a runner at third and 1 out, they get called out on strikes.
It's just they're just not playing.
It's just not a great hitting team, guys. It's just not. It's just not.
Yeah.
And they don't know how. Like most teams, they don't know how to play any other way than to score with power. And when you're not getting clutch hits, you're just not. And it's contagious.
Another thing I'll add
infects the whole dressing room.
Another thing I add to Dave's point is the 2 strike hits against. Got to be up there, and I'm not sure they track that, but it's got to be way on up there. I mean, these guys.
Here's something, Tony, that I'd ask Will. It's something that Dave mentioned, and that's no volley fingers style pitchers.
That's right.
I asked Will. I said, Will, is there a place anymore for guys like that? And he said there'll always be a place if you can get guys out. And I agree with that. The problem is, who's recruiting those guys? I mean, Volley Fingers was on the roster in 1996. He ain't getting recruited today. The
Camden Souls of the world and those people. That's a really good point. That's a really good point, Bino.
They're not getting recruited in the SEC.
That's a really good point.
Unless they reinvent themselves after they get somewhere.
You know what's fun? The kid from Vanderbilt yesterday, he wasn't effective, but that kid's fun to watch. That kid does not throw the ball mid-80s. But, man, he works quickly. He knows what he's doing. He's extremely crafty. He's highly competitive. And he was really angry that they pulled him out of that game yesterday. It was the right thing to do. We were getting ready to hit him into oblivion. Bino, we were getting ready to get to him. Corbin had a pretty good weekend from that perspective. A lot of the things he did worked out. But you talk about some showcase arms. Vanderbilt has them too. They go right through that bullpen. They start bringing in those guys that throw that gas. And that's the game today. It's all about the gas. Some guys have the great spin rates, and you can't hit them. And some of these guys, the ball just lays flat, and you see these guys smash the ball. Hello and welcome in. Our next call on the TLD Logistics phone lines. You're on the air. Hi.
Hi, Tony.
Go right ahead.
Hi, Tony.
Hey, Bill. Go right ahead.
I'll tell you, we're playing some inexcusable baseball.
It's been tough to watch. Yep.
And if they don't get their act together in a big hurry, the only way they're going to make it into the SEC champion baseball tournament is they're going to have to pay on a ticket.
No, they're already in. They're in the SEC. They're in the SEC tournament, and they're already in the NCAA tournament. When you start 20-0, it's hard to play your way out of those two things. But they've gone from a surefire host first round to looking like they're going to be on the road throughout, unless they have a flurry finish here at the end. And we came into this past weekend hoping to host a super regional, Bino. That's the amazing thing about that sport, is how quickly that can all change.
Yeah, how razor's edge it is, especially in this league.
That's been my education here. I mean, I was not expecting that. It was not on my Cinco card for this team to be in the spot they're in right now.
Okay, on another note, Bino, I'm going to give you a little homework.
Okay.
This ought to be good.
There is this rock group that sounds a bit like the Beach Boys. They're called the Sun Rays. And their big hit song was made the same year a certain sports talk show host came into this world, whose name I am keeping anonymous. And the song was called Andrea, but they would pronounce it Andrea.
Sunrays,
So-
Bino. Do you remember Andrea by the Sunrays?
I do not. I'll pull it up and see if I can. That jogs my memory.
Yep. I told Bill called me Friday with this off the air, y'all, and I told Bill, I said, listen, I said, that sounds like the Beach Boys on some serious hempola and other foreign substances. Bino, when you hear this song, I'd like you to give me a full report later, because literally it's one of the worst songs I've ever heard. And I love you, Bill. You're my guy. Would you sing a bar for us of Andrea?
Okay, I will. Andrea, woo, Andrea.
Did you pull a plug on him, Tony?
No, I'm letting him sing it. Thank you, Bill. Sounds like Andrea, and then Ric Flair doing woo there when you're doing it. But at any rate, I can't crack. Pretty nice falsetto you got there, Bill. So we take a brief time out, get some more calls in on the other side. Let's line them up, load them up on a Monday. Boy, it's pouring outside. More after this.
Guests appear on the TLD Logistics Hotline. Online at tldlogistics.com.
Your next opportunity to see your Knoxville Smokies in the brand new Covenant Health Park is this week. And what a week. Great promotions every night, including Thirsty Thursday with half-off drafts, and join Charlie Brown, Snoopy, and the gang on Saturday. Our Sunday day game will be honoring our law enforcement. And don't forget, fireworks every Friday and Saturday night all season long. Get your tickets now at SmokiesBaseball.com.
Knoxville Smokies.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Peace of mind is priceless, especially when it comes to your home safety and your family's comfort. That's why the pros at Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling created the Peace of Mind Maintenance Plan. Preventative maintenance for HVAC and plumbing is like changing your vehicle's oil, and experts recommend scheduling regular system checks to keep everything running smoothly. With Peace of Mind, you can safeguard your home from unexpected costly breakdowns and repairs. You'll get tons of benefits, including full system checks on HVAC and plumbing systems, water heater flushes, sewer camera inspection, 10% automatic discount on repairs, priority bookings, no service fees, and much more. Monthly service plans are as low as $20.25 per month, and total annual services are valued at over $1,500. Call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to sign up or schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
Life never stops moving, and between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up, a tire designed for doers, a tire that's going to last, like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire. Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our Gold Bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to Budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to Budget.
Hi there, Basilio crew. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. If you're thinking about selling your home, I've got good news for you. The East Tennessee and Knoxville areas are projected to have another strong year. I'll be happy to talk with you about the latest and greatest info you need, so give me a call at 865-694-5904 or contact me at nextmovesmokymountains.com. Hope to hear from you soon, and go Vols.
Tony B here with the great Zakai Ziegler for
Hey, whoa. Tony, I got this. Hey, Tennessee, it's Easy here. Next time you have an electric issue at your home or business, call my friends at Advent Electric. With offices in Knoxville and Nashville, it's Mama's Easy approved.
You heard it from the most electrifying player in the league. Call the service professionals at Advent Electric, 865-588-0631. Online, adventelectric.com. Tell them ZZ sent you. Basilio here, and you know my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range, and if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery, so you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from B. Online at carnesmotor.com. Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company. It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B. Tony B back with you. I'll tell you one thing. I was telling these guys off the air, and I mean this, because I said this. The Garza Law Extra Innings program we had last night was like a football-sized crowd, which tells me two things. First of all, I bet there were some Vandy fans in there listening to it, which is, part of it. Because nobody's crazy enough to do a post-game show after baseball games like we are, but we're dedicated. We love you. I love you. You love me. It's like Barney. It's real-life Barney here. I'm Tinky Winky. I didn't know Bino's Tinky Winky, isn't he? Do you remember that? Or no, that was the Teletubbies. But it's a lot like Barney, okay? So, what am I talking about? Oh, our lines are jammed. Our baseball program here has achieved parity with football in terms of mattering. I mean, not football, basketball. I really do believe that. Tony, you're embarrassing yourself. No, actually, I'm not. Tony and his staff have made it matter. Bino's right. This is a bottom-of-the-mark year for them, and they're easily going to make the NCAA tournament. And look, I'm not here to jock for them because I've been highly critical of some of the stuff that went on over the weekend and will continue to be because I can't put a microphone on a lie. I just can't. It's just not who I am. The thing that's interesting to me is the sport is so random. These guys could still catch fire and end up in Omaha. Now, do I think that's going to happen? And no way. No, I think the top of the mark for them is to get to a super regional where a high-level team will expose their flaws and pound them into submission. That's what I think is going to happen to them. Because once Doyle pitches, their flaws get exposed, and that is not going to be pretty. But you never know. You never know. Back to the phones we go. Tony and that whole staff and the kids that have come before have made it matter so much that, man, it hurts today. That game was so frustrating yesterday. So frustrating. My lovely daughter took my wife over there for Mother's Day. Anthony's away. And the rain delay. Rain delay. It's just so typical that the one weekend we're on television, they can't move the thing. They knew it was going to pour. They knew it. They knew it and couldn't move it for television purposes. Bino, how perfect is that? That's what happened yesterday.
Been a year with a little cloud hanging over, Tony.
The whole time.
And Tony, maybe I'm out to lunch here. Yesterday wasn't the frustrating day for me. Again, after the first inning, I thought yesterday was a good baseball game.
Yes.
Where Vanderbilt took advantage of just about every opportunity when they had base runners, and Tennessee did not, time and time again. But I thought that was after the first inning was a well-played, solid baseball game that either team had a chance to win. Saturday was the game that was just unsightly. It just wasn't worth watching a minute of.
Back to our phones we go. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, Tony? Joshy.
Wings.
Shout out to your boy Schwarber last night, making me $1,100.
There you go, Kyle Schwarber.
Yep. Tony, the baseballs kind of remind me of the Braves this year. They suck when they have runners in scoring position. They can't push them across home.
Yeah, when you there's nothing more frustrating in baseball than that left on base figure when it gets into the teens. That's one of the more impossible things to watch about the sport. And then as a fan, when you know that's your team's personality and you know it's coming, Josh, how the Vols in college baseball twice this weekend in a same game had 3 base hits and only scored 1 run, you got to try to do that.
Yep.
You have got to try to do that.
Yeah. Hey, Tony, I kind of question Tony Vols for taking Coons out yesterday because he was pitching really, really good. What are your and Bino's thoughts on that?
I thought he was going to go 6 or 7 innings.
I did too.
And Bino, what'd you say first hour about that?
I agree with you, Josh. We said earlier I thought he was cruising. Should have been left in the game at 40-plus pitches, close to 50, I think, when they took him out.
I mean, sometimes I think Tony needs a hook.
Yeah.
Like, he goes out there and gives these guys the hook. When he starts walking out there, somebody in the dugout, maybe like Adam Lowe, they ought to give him like an implement where he just grabs him and pulls him back into the dugout. Yeah, like vaudeville. That's exactly right, Bino. 2 things. I'd like to see that, a little implement, save him from himself every once in a while. And then, Josh, the next time we let a leadoff hitter get on to start a game, put him on third base when Phillips is pitching. Just put him over there on third.
Right.
That way we don't have to sit through it.
True. Hey, Tony, do you guys think that Dean Curley is playing himself in a position to not get – well, he's going to get drafted, but do you think he's going to come back to Tennessee next season?
He was I guess a top 20 prospect for the year, started on some boards. I saw an Athletic deal the other day, and they didn't have him. I want to say it was the first 100 prospects. They didn't have his name. So I don't know what's happened with him, but he's way on down the peg. It might have been the first 50, but he wasn't on that list, and he's not on a lot of lists right now.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for him.
No, you're good. Do you think Tony might address in the portal going out and getting some starting pitchers in the portal, maybe?
Oh, yeah, that's the sport now. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Now, I do think they have a couple promising arms there, but I do think, yeah.
You saw how it worked with when we got Liam Dole out of the portal from Ole Miss.
Or
everybody, yeah, he was just okay at Ole Miss, and now he's a superstar at Tennessee.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. It's kind of like Tennessee's
and he
shooting
could possibly
guard.
be a number one pick.
Yeah, well, you know what they're saying? It's either going to be him or Matt Holliday's other son, Bino. How about Matt Holliday has 2 kids that could go first in the Major League draft, and his other son in Baltimore, Beanstar, is a nice little player, isn't he?
He most certainly is. Yeah, it's good. The Holiday pipeline.
I mean, you talk about a gene pool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joshy boy. You're my man.
Yep.
Love you. Back to our phones. Let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You're on the air.
Long time no talking.
Hey, welcome in. Good to talk to you.
Thank you, sir. I'm not going to come down too hard. I'm with Bino on this. I actually thought that Tennessee played pretty well, and I thought it was a well-played baseball game after the first inning yesterday. I did. I was there. It was like, why are we losing this game? I think we've lost 4 or 5 games and definitely 3 series where we were better than the team that was across from us, and I still think we are. And that one of those teams is number 1 in the country right now. I thought we were better than LSU when we played them the other day.
Oh, I agree with that. Tennessee outplayed LSU. Yep.
I mean, we had 1 bad inning, and then we had 1 bad day against Texas A&M, who is abysmal. They're going to miss the freaking tournament. And then, you know, I thought we should have won yesterday. And man, Tony, if there's going to be like a rain delay or a bad weather situation in the college baseball playoffs, you know it's happening to us, but I think we're going to be the ones that are prepared for it. 5 series, 5 have been weather delayed this year for us.
How about Vanderbilt hits a 2-run home run right before the weather delay? Can you make that up? I mean, can you make that up?
Nope. I was sitting there, and they were trotting out Dylan Loy when it happened, right? And then they call it. I'm like, oh, so now we just. I guess he came back in and pitched, and he was middling. I mean, he was fine, but he wasn't himself. And it was like, yeah, and now we just burned our reliever because we warmed him up for 20 minutes over there. It's crazy. We just can't catch a break. It's just maybe sometimes you're just unlucky. But I do want to say one thing, and I know Tony's your boy, and this is probably a hot take. I don't know if this is Tony's decision, but arguably the worst decision that happened the whole weekend was bunting Grimmer. Why? He hit an absolute rocket his first time up down the last time he hit. And then you bunt him, and, you know, the kid's never bunted in a game, I don't think. I don't understand that one.
Well, if you're going to do that, pinch hit somebody that can bunt, if that's what you're going to do.
Right. You put in Abernathy.
It's idiotic.
Let him get down there.
It's an idiotic, indefensible thing to do in a baseball game. And that kid, that Grimmer kid can flat out swing the baseball bat, man. I'm telling you, he can swing it.
I like our young talent a whole lot. I think they need some development, but I think, Levi Clark having a late season surge after he went for like 0 for 28. It's nice to see that we have guys with a little bit of bounce back. And then lastly, and again, this is another hot take. Can we burn a few pitches instead of piping 0-2 for homers after homer after homer?
Never seen anything like it. Never seen anything like it.
I'm blown away, guys. Okay, when you're at the game and you see 98, because I don't think they showed it on TV. Maybe they did yesterday because it was on TV. But they flash 98 up on the board. You're like, dang, that's heat. But 98 is not what it used to be. These guys are used to seeing 98, and if you groove 98 and they're looking for it on 0-2 because we pound the strike zone, that's a Frank Anderson thing. They're going to smash the baseball, and that's what's been happening. I think we've given up. I tried to go back and count. I'm not exactly sure, but I think we've given up double-digit 0-2 home runs this year. See you guys.
TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime coming up if you want to jump in. Brian's got to go. Brian, love you. Thank you. The Brian Hartman bet today over at VIP Play. Check it out. Today's their first day. They're live. If you have a gambling problem, 800-889-9789, 21 and over, located in the state of Tennessee to place a bet. But I've got a special Brian Hartman bet up there. It's kind of comical in honor of Brian Hartman. Love you, Bri. In the meantime, Bino and myself will hang out. If you want to jump in, that was a frustrating weekend of baseball. I do agree. These guys made a point here in the last little bit. Yesterday's game was great college baseball is what it was. High level, well played, both teams. Hey, the kid on second base from Vanderbilt with the Ivy League name, incredible play at second base. I mean, balling out. And then, of course, they had a guy hit a home run. The Italian guy, he couldn't hit that thing. He couldn't do that in a million years. But it happened yesterday. Till we meet again, I love you. God bless. GBO.
WJBE 1040 AM 99.7 FM.
Translator W.
Let's go.
Powell, Knoxville.
Bino on a GBO on a rainy Mundo. Hot air, I will blow.
It's TLD Logistics Overdrive
On the choke.
Overtime, presented by TLD Logistics. Online at tldlogistics.com.
Highly critical of Tony Vitello on the show.
And now let's go to the guys with today's edition of TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime.
And my appreciation for him will grow. Because you know, that kind of hurts to lose to Vando. And Bino, isn't that kind of the fact? Like, they've made it matter enough that we had like a football level audience after that game last night on our post game. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's unbelievable that the program they built here and the interest that it's created. I never dreamed I would see Tennessee baseball like this.
I mean, Willie
did.
Willie Heflin and Matt, y'all cracked the 60,000 mark last night. I don't know how to tell you that, but that's nuts. I mean, that's just in a post-game business. That's major market stuff, man. In a post-game business, I'm just telling you, because that's what our football post-game shows. Major market program is what that is. Just is.
And Tony, my frustration level fluctuates due to opponents as well. I absolutely cannot stand to lose to Kentucky in football. I cannot stand to lose to Vandy in basketball. Those days, I might as well stay away from the show because there's not going to be any sanity to me when that happens.
And the fact that these people call themselves Vandy boys rhymes with the word play, as in VIP play, but might be a website of its own. Because it's annoying, okay? Vandy boys. Vandy boys. Vandy boys. Vandy boys. What do you think of the term Vandy boys, Bino? How would you like to be associated with that? Vandy
I think
boys?
It pretty much fits their sports program. I like it.
The kid on second base, like Rustin Howell III, whatever that kid's name is. How about that damn kid going in the hole and digging that ball out in that spot?
Hey, that bunch takes hits away, Tony. They're a solid defensive baseball team.
And then Bino said it. If you told me from here on out that Vanderbilt was going to get 5 home runs a series, 5, they are going to Omaha and they might win the whole thing because they've got excellent defense. I am sold. And they even booted the ball around a little bit with us over the weekend. Of course, we didn't make them pay like we should because situationally we're just not going to hit. But back to the phones we go.
They can pitch it and they can catch it, Tony.
Oh. And, you know, coming into the weekend, I looked it up. You would have thought, oh, they're a run. They were 6th in the league in steals. They were 6th in the league in steals coming into the deal.
Yeah, for a portion of the year, you know, you can't steal first.
That's right. And that's why the R.J. Austin guy his steal numbers aren't very good because he hardly gets on base.
Got to get down there.
They've only stolen 32 bases on the year. They hardly run. They entered the UT series 6th in the league in steals. They stole 8 against the Vols. So 8 of their 32 steals came against us.
Before we go back to the phones, Tony, I always remember I'm more of like a Huckleberry Hound and Mighty Mouse guy. I don't know anything about any Tinky Winky or whoever that is.
It's like some Teletubby thing, but I was really talking about Barney, because Barney said that thing, I love you, you love me, we're a perfect family with a knick-knack paddywhack. All those songs sound the same to me, but back to the phones we go. Hello and welcome in on the TLD Logistics phone line, tldlogistics.com. Believe that. For all your shipping needs, TLD Logistics. Believe that. As we get our next call in, hello and welcome. You're on the air.
So you don't like Vandy boys, huh?
Where have you been?
We talked to Joe Monday. He was in there Monday.
You're a Vandy man, Joe.
Yeah, I'm a Vandy man.
You called last week? Monday?
Yeah, I called.
That's awesome,
I called
dude.
and talked to Bino when you were having your colon taken care of.
Well, you know what? I think I would do, rather than sit through that weekend, I think I would do the prep all over again, Joe, and go get another colonoscopy rather than watch that weekend. Saturday, Bino, that's what
That'd
it
be
felt
better
like.
than Saturday's game,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
It felt like, well, I could get graphic on here, but
Oh, I know you could. I can get real graphic. If
I'll tell you
want
what.
me to.
Hey, I'm proud. I'm proud of y'all though. Y'all got a good baseball team, man. You should be proud of them.
We got our warts. We've got our warts.
Sure.
I mean,
neither team's
you're
great.
talking about. You were talking about all that 0-2 stuff. We've given up a ton of 0-2 home runs this year. That's probably the most frustrating thing I watch in college baseball. Is they have gotten to the point that they don't waste pitches anymore, and it's across college baseball. I mean, if you watch, I don't know how much of it you watch. I know
a good bit.
Quite a
Yeah,
bit,
good bit. Yeah, good bit.
Yeah, so you see it. I mean, good gosh, there's a lot of they've all got the philosophy of, I don't know if they can't locate well or they beat them into the head. You got to throw strikes on every pitch, and I mean, it just, they don't pitch anymore. They just throw.
What do you think of that, Bino? That's some old man talk, but it is true. Taylor brought up something. You do not see, especially us on Saturday, why are you not calling a pitch out on 0-2? You know they're running. I guess he's that slow to the plate that even if you pitched out, they're still going to steal. But, Joe, your point is well taken. At the collegiate level, you do not, for whatever reason, see these people waste pitches.
No.
0-2-1-2, I'm never giving in to you. Never.
No.
Never
I
giving
mean,
in to you.
I'm
Never.
no bury one in the dirt or see if I can elevate and get you to change your eye level and change your swing and maybe go fishing for something. If I'm not going to throw you a strike.
Will was in here when that home run was hit, and he went, man, middle. Like, what are we doing? He goes, what in the world? And it's, you know, he's wearing it on his sleeve over here getting ready to go, and he's like, I cannot believe we just get, and it's uncanny. That must be when you have things like that, like we're back to this, stand out to you when your team doesn't have a great margin of error. That's the kind of thing. And Vanderbilt does not have a margin of error because they don't hit the ball out of the ballpark, Joe, to your point.
No, and that's right. I mean, they've hit more home runs in the last
couple weeks,
2 weeks than they've hit. I don't know. Maybe I won't say all season, but they just don't hit home runs. They're not a home run hitting team. They haven't been for years. I guess the last time they were a home run hitting team was in 19 when they won out in Omaha, and they had some home run hitters, but Corbs hadn't been able to get the big boppers to West End, in the last few years. I'll say two things about you guys from watching you play this weekend and having watched you play a little bit before that and what's been going on. I think part of Saturday's deal that affected Sunday's game was the fact you brought A.J. Russell in and threw him several innings on Saturday. I think Tony was desperate to have to do that because he was trying to slow things down. And I don't know if he was planning on using him Sunday or not, but he threw the ball well after the first 3 or 4 hitters that he faced. I've noticed with him, it looks like he's trying to throw the ball through a wall. And he slowed himself down mechanically and didn't throw the ball as hard. I mean, he was throwing in the low 90s, and he seemed to be a lot more effective once he did that than trying to throw 100 miles an hour. The other thing, you guys you got a park that is conducive to home runs, and I think the gorilla ball effect that you've got there has affected you guys' ability to be able to I guess play small ball to a certain extent. You're trying to hit the 3-run homer, and of course the park's conducive to that, especially if you get it out to right center. So but those are two things that I observed just watching Saturday and Sunday and Friday too, is that and Inslee, he saved you Friday night.
He's a hell of a player, man. He's had a great year.
I mean,
a great year.
I mean, the kid, the kid saved you Friday night.
Hell
I mean,
of a
it
player.
would have been a sweep if it wouldn't have been for that. I mean, seriously.
Well,
I mean, that Friday night game was a hell of a baseball game.
Thank God that kid came back. Both games, but the Saturday and the Sunday, the Friday and the Sunday game, and Joe, thank you. I think we're both a credit to the sport. Both those games. They're playing a razor's edge. Little things matter. Excellent baseball. The pitching in Friday night's game is so ultra high level and so fun to watch. That's the very best of the sport, what you saw Friday. Your thoughts, Beanstar, because Inslee's had a hell of a year.
Yeah, Hunter's just a terrific college baseball player, and a guy that that seizes the moment. He's one of those guys that's able to somehow raise his level of play in the biggest moments. So he's been a credit to the program, and I'll miss watching him play.
And the thing about him is he doesn't have the makeup to be a get on my back guy and follow me. He's very quiet, like when you're around him. And so you can't be what you're not. But the other thing that he is that I love about him is, because Joe was talking about this, look, the ball's easier to hit out of the park at this level than it is others that we're used to watching. And so maybe even in high school ball, because these guys are, they're big. And the ball's really moving. And if you run into one, you can really hammer them. And so I think there's a tendency for these big guys to just try and overswing and smash them. And I don't blame them. Because if I could hit a ball 500 feet, I would be trying to hit a ball 500 feet all the time. You know what I mean? Because when they run into them, they go way out of that ballpark, like way out of there. I think there is some overswinging. Inslee is constantly, even though he's capable of hitting the ball out, he's constantly hitting the ball where it's pitched. Uses all fields. Very, very, very unselfish, very veteran approach. Very selfless the way he plays the game.
Yeah, he is, Tony. He's been a joy to watch. A couple of things we did see that give me a little bit of hope. I think they probably used AJ where they wanted to. I think if there had been any thought about him starting on Sunday, that's what they would have done with him. But I thought he had his most effective stretch, after a rough start, like Joe said. And then to see Fisher hit 2 home runs yesterday, one of them to draw us within, one of them put us ahead, one of them draw us within one, or tie the game, one of us draw them within one. I think that's a good sign too. We need for him to get back to hitting the ball out of the ballpark.
If you're going to get through a regional, you need a guy like Fisher to carry you.
He and Keelan are going to have to play at a level that we saw them play earlier in the season.
That's right.
Together.
That's right. Boy, Keelan, I don't know how many men he left on base yesterday, but over the weekend it had to be double digits. Poor guy. I mean, you know that's running all over him. There were a couple of situations where he comes up with multiple runners on and pops up the first pitch. Just not seeing it. And is not letting himself get into at-bats to even have counts, Bino. That's when you know it's really not going well for you. When you first pitch swing and pop the ball up, not good.
Yeah, earlier in the year, before the injury, he just had quality swing after quality swing, and those have just been hard to come by here in conference play for him after the injury. So,
8-6.
But he's obviously a good hitter. We've seen that. So, it can come back as quick as it goes away.
Yeah, he's going to go high in that draft, and I would certainly spend a pick on him in a heartbeat. As we go back to our phones and get our next call in, it's TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime, and then we're going to get out of here. It must be really pouring here because my dog just came downstairs to the studio. My dog only comes down here on 3 occasions. 1, Alex Myers is here. She's got a crush on him. 2, Will Heflin's here. She's got a crush on him. Or 3, it's raining outside. So it must be. Is it pouring outside still, Bino, down your way?
It's raining, Tony, but not hard here right now.
Back to the phones we go. Steady Eddie she go. Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on our TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime. You might be our final call. Hello and welcome in.
This is Hugo, Tony.
Hey, welcome in.
What's going on, Bino?
How we doing today?
I'm doing well, brother. This is Ballcat here. So, Tony, I just talking about the baseball.
VCP, as it were.
That's right. Thank you. With what we lost last year, we probably lost, a minimum of 100 home runs from last year. And just in looking still, we're not hitting as many, but we're still the 110, 111. I think it's incredible. You lose 100 home runs, but you're still able to hit over 100 the following year. And we got more games to play.
Yeah, look, I've called Tony Vitello everything but an Irishman today on the air. But the truth is, most teams that win national championships that lose that many people are already eliminated from the NCAA tournament before you get here. We ran that last week in the blog over at tclub.team, and it just, if you look at it and you look at the list, it's really hard to get to Omaha. If you go and you win that thing, that next year, Philip, even the guys that come back on your roster, it takes something out of you. I believe that.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah. Hey, Philip, and we're not, for whatever reason, we're not getting the production out of home runs that we did in previous years. I mean, we're in SEC play alone, which is the stats that really matter. We're 6th in the league in home runs, which isn't terrible.
No.
We're laying down there like 11th or 12th in runs batted in. We're not getting a whole lot beyond the home run.
That's all. And you know what I'd love to see, guys, in league play are the 2-out hits. I would bet you we are at the very bottom of the league and maybe bottom of the country in 2-out hits because we don't get them at all. We started 20-0. I remember Matt coming on here and going, man, this team is unbelievable with 2 outs.
Yeah.
But you knew that sport eventually. That's like if you're playing golf and you start making a bunch of 10-foot putts, 12-foot putts. You know eventually you're going to go through a spell where you can't buy one.
Yeah, really, really fickle number. There's just, it comes and it goes.
But Tony, I want to ask you a question, just your thoughts. With Levi Clark, in a lot of ways, he reminds me, his freshman year reminds me of Burke's freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
Burke, he could knock it out of here, but he struck out more times. And Clark is the same way. And I think we're a year away, from this freshman class, we're a year away from being super regional, get back to the World Series. I really do think that.
The problem with Levi Clark that they figured once we got into league play was he was having trouble catching up with high strikes.
Mm-hmm.
And if you'll notice, teams have thrown him that ball and he's hit it hard. And so he has made the adjustment. They worked with him on the side, and he looks to me, Beanstar, like you could play him right now going forward this year, and he'll give you credible at bats. That's what it looks to me, Bino. Looks to me like they got him fixed.
Yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't doubt what Philip's saying at all. I still really believe in this staff's ability to recognize, find, and develop talent.
Hey, the 3 or 4 freshmen that have played this year, the Grimmer guy is going to have a great year next year. I'm telling you, I'm on mark for that dude. This Levi Clark guy is a player, and the kid in right field yesterday is going to be a hell of a player. You can go ahead and put that in stone. Those are 3 core guys that you're going to see next year take a huge step, I believe. And they'll go out and they'll go in the portal, and they already have a couple people out of the portal committed, and they're getting ready to go. They're getting ready to knock it out here, I believe. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah. So if you just look at Bargo alone, I mean, he's turned into be, last year he couldn't freaking throw the bat in the ocean, but he's turned into one of those consistent hitters now.
He's a hell of a player, man. And the thing I love about Dalton Bargo is, I finally learned his name now that we're 90% over, and even having him on the air, I'm done calling him Dylan Bargo. The thing I love about him is, it doesn't matter what position you play him at, he's pretty good in the field. He's not, like, great, but he's pretty good at a lot of things. He's just a baseball player.
Yeah. Tony, I'll ask this and I'll get out of here. So what's the thought from what you hear? What's the thought with Chapman's progression over the year? Because he's swinging at anything. The things that he's swinging at, they're just awful.
Not a hitting instructor, Philip. Never have been. Play one on the radio. And I am a psychologist, though I'm not licensed. But, Philip, thank you. To my naked eye, when I see guys do that, they're not seeing the baseball. And that's why I disagree with Taylor, who said earlier you got to leave him in there. Look, a guy that's hitting like 1-something in league play in the last pretty decent amount of time, when you're not seeing it, you're not seeing it. When you're not seeing it, you shouldn't be playing. I just don't think he's seeing it, Bino. What do you think?
Yeah, like you, Tony, I'm certainly not a hitting instructor, but I don't know what his issue is. But whatever it is, it's a recurring one.
Yeah, because he's not even close. Like, before they decided to pull the plug on him, which was what game, Bino? Was it Saturday?
He did not start yesterday.
Okay. I mean, he wasn't close, Bino. And, he was getting in situations where there was traffic. And it was just kind of becoming... Now, Taylor makes a good point. Look, last year it was a situation where they left the Amick kid on third base, and he was kind of a black hole over there, and he wasn't hitting at times. No question. But they won a World Series doing it. This is, to me, it's a different kettle of fish.
Well, Amick also had a better track record of success, previous success. Reese Chapman has always been looked upon here as a huge upside guy, but we've only seen that in a very short stretch.
Yeah. And man, when he got it going earlier in the year, it was it's a nice baseball player. So it's obviously in there. But
it's a harsh game. It's a harsh game. Even when you play as many games as these guys do, it's still a very, very short stretch of baseball that you're playing. You get in a funk, and before you know it, half of it's over.
No doubt about it. Well, Bino, it was a lot of fun today. Anything else you'd care to add here on the way out? You're my man.
No, I appreciate it, Tony. I enjoyed it. You guys have a great week. The sun is actually shining in Lenore City, so
praise God.
Maybe that's something you have to look forward to.
I think
here
the
in a
sun's
couple
supposed to come out. Yeah, about 3 o'clock. I was hoping to get out and sit outside and get a few strokes in today, play some music, sitting out in the park. Hopefully we can still do that. I think from 3 o'clock on it's supposed to be pretty good. So we paid the piper. The piper got paid. Bino, thank you.
Thank you, Tony. See you.
Tomorrow's piper. You know, this piper I've got in my hand here tells me this. My friends at VIP Play have launched. And they're off and running. And here's the deal. They've got player club sweepstakes. They've got if you want to go check the site out, and I want you to, and I want you to use the promo code TNTony when you place back. Because I don't want these jokers in Nashville, these other people that do what I'm doing in Nashville, to get over on me. I just don't. I'm very competitive. I want to win this thing. Now, there's nothing in it for me to win this thing besides bragging rights, but I like hearing, man, you know, your audience is really, because your audience is really loyal. And I'll tell you this, when you do business with the people, and a lot of you sports gamble, you need to give this thing a try, and you need to use my promo code, or you're going to really piss me off. How's that for a pitch? But there's so many reasons to do it, because 200 plus leagues to wager on, all your favorite types of bets. You've heard the term live now, but VIP plays live always. And then all kinds of fun stuff is going to happen on that site. Like today we've got a bet that I've put together for tonight, which is juiced to 2-1 basically. And that is the Celtics minus 11.5 in the Garden tonight. So go and fade me if you want. I'm telling you, the Celtics are, and I'm a Sixer fan, and I hate the Celtics with every fiber of my being. I'm not a big Knick fan either. I don't like how they come into Philly and take over our building like they do in Philly, where I like my coffee. But the bottom line is this. The great Will Heflin is going to take incredible care of you as you bet on that site. And we're going to try harder. Book it, Dano. So the VIP Play app is now live in Tennessee. Go claim your VIP Play welcome bonus. You bet $5 or more. Use the promo code TNTony. $100 in bonus bet instantly appears. And go check out our fun game we've got tonight around the NBA playoffs. I've never in my life cheered for the Boston Celtics to hammer somebody. Hey, Brian Hartman, I might put some... Is Celtic green Kelly green, or is it Celtic green? What is it? Whatever it is, the Celtics annoy me, but hey. What do they say? Politics and betting can make for some strange bedfellows. And Brian Hartman, tonight, I lie in your bed, big boy. Gambling problem, 800-889-9789. 21 and over, located in the state of Tennessee to bet. And ladies and germs, boys and girls, children of all ages, and all the ships at sea, that's going to about do it for us. I want to thank lovely Laura for helping get Bino in here. Because Bino was trying to get into our room earlier, and I didn't know how to do it. And I was like clapping at her, and she was looking at me like, hey, look, man. Look, Chief, she gave me that 33 years of marriage. You better step off, look. And guess what I did? I got the steppin', Jerry Colquitt. I got the steppin'. I want to thank my friends at TLD Logistics. They're online at tldlogistics.com. Matt Dixon will be here tomorrow. Dudley Dawson will be here tomorrow. Shout out to my Lady Vol tennis gals, because Allison Ojeda making another return visit, which means my smile will be glued on. Shout out Ben Rogers, Performance Medicine. All-America in tennis back in the day. Now he's a pickleball champion of the world. The world. Till we meet again, my name is Basilio. I love you. I appreciate you. Peace on the streets. And God willing, we come back again tomorrow and do it all over again and again and again and again. Peace. And Vandy Joe, I say to you, go Vols go, and take Vandy Joe. Peace. How about Vandy Joe reemerging for a phone call? Coming up for air, as it were. I call that coming up for air, Vandy Joe. Oh, man. Why do we have to lose to those people? Why, oh, why, oh, why? Let's go, shall we?
WJBE 1040 AM, 99.7 FM. Translator W259AB. Powell, Knoxville.
Welcome. It is your Monday edition. Fired up, focused, and prepared for you. Jacked up, stacked, packed, and jacked. Man, what an appropriate way for that Tennessee baseball game to go yesterday. A rain delay, and then seconds, inches away from a 3-run homer from my boy Grimmer. Not to be confused with the great David Grimm. But Grimmer's my boy. Hey, Brian Hartman, last year, you know where that ball goes? Grimmer's ball to center field. That's deposited off the scoreboard, Brian, last year. That's the difference. That's the difference.
Every single ball hit to the warning track leaves the ballpark last year, or in most years.
Yep. And meanwhile, Vandy does not have a home run hitting team at all. And this Mancini guy, Boom Boom Mancini, hit a ball out. First one all year. You know?
And that's just kind of how it goes. They just don't do well enough for long enough. They just don't do enough things well enough for long enough to sustain any kind of success.
Where is the sound on this thing? This team this team doesn't have it, Bri. No offense to them.
I've come to the point where I've kind of, with Will Heflin, I've sort of just suspended emotions for the rest of the season and accepted this for what it is.
Yeah, that's right.
And you never know. They might get a good matchup in the NCAA tournament where
sure
they're not going to face another SEC team in a regional. And I would not want to be a regional host and see Tennessee pop